over here, Faith.
Okay.
And we're just getting ready to.
It's warm.
You know what? If we turn it around, it'll be cold.
Really?
It was really cold just a few minutes ago.
We had it hot in here.
So did you all have a good
interview?
Yes.
We did. We
Wonderful.
did. We hit, 20 minutes on the spot almost.
Well, it was 1955.
1955.
All right now. All
All
right,
right.
you ready?
All right, we're ready, Faith. We got all our people already introduced.
You know what?
in.
Oh, you do?
Yep. So, hey guys.
Filled with anointing. I'm filled with anointing. Thank you, Jesus. My cup's overflowing. My cup's overflowing. No weapon can harm me. No weapon can harm me. Jesus. I won't fear. I won't fear. People of God sing hallelujah. Hallelujah. I am not alone. I am not alone. Hey, He's my comfort. He's my comfort. And He always holds me close. Somebody just shout Jesus right there. He always guides me. He always guides me. Through mountains and valleys. Through mountains and valleys. His joy is refreshing. His joy is refreshing. Restores my soul. Restores my Say this with confidence. Mercy and goodness. Mercy and goodness. Ooh, oh, give me assurance. Give me assurance. Oh, that I'll see your glory. I'll see His glory. Oh, face to face, face to face.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. You are here. We are here. We are here in the studio for It's a Family Affair radio show. And guess what today is? Women's Empowerment Show. And we are so happy. Woo woo! Yeah. We are so happy to be here today. And we have so many great things to talk about.
Yes, yes.
We have so many great things to talk about. And I have Marilyn in the room.
Yay,
and we have a guest.
Yes, Mrs. Jennifer Robinson.
Jennifer Robinson. Oh my goodness. And Jennifer, where are you from?
I am from the great city of Tyler, Texas.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yes,
the
ma'am.
great city of East Texas, the hub, Tyler,
Yes.
Texas.
And
Yeah.
Faye, do you know Jennifer and I were sitting here talking a few minutes ago, and it's crazy how paths cross.
Oh, yeah.
Jennifer was at a church that I used to go to when I first started out.
And she was a
And
baby.
she was a baby. She was a young girl.
She was a
Isn't
baby.
that crazy?
Yeah.
Oh
well,
my
you know,
God.
it's not crazy. That's how we do stuff, right? Yeah. That's how stuff
I was
is,
like,
right?
God, you never cease to amaze me.
I know, isn't he? I don't know. I might know you too.
Yeah, I know, right?
You might. We might.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
might.
yeah.
When we get to talking a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, what side of part? What part
Yeah.
of Tyler? You
Yeah, who your folks?
What's your name? Is?
Yeah, what your name is?
Yeah. What school
Yes.
did you go to?
Yep.
You know how you have to
All
go.
of
You have to pull it all up. Well,
Absolutely.
we're just so happy to have Jennifer here today. And if you can't reach us on our Facebook page, which is IAFA Radio Show on Facebook, you can always reach us at www.fbrn.us in the blue stream.
Yes.
And guess what? I think in our second half of the show, we would like for you to call in.
Yes.
A lot of our ladies, are we
Yeah.
bosses out there that attended the Operations Detox 2000?
And we sporting it today.
Yeah, we see our shirts.
Yeah,
2019
yeah.
Body, Soul, and
and
Spirit
Spirit.
Retreat.
Yes.
We want to hear from you. We're going to open up the lines, and we want you all to come on in and just share what God did, what we did. We had 5 cabins out there,
Yes.
5.
Yes.
And we had at least 25 ladies in each cabin, somewhere
At least
about
that.
at least that. And guess what? I know how to get to Broken Bow, Oklahoma
We
now.
sure do. And we know how to get around that camp down there too.
Oh
now.
my gosh! We were on the back side
Yes,
of it, and
gosh.
everybody else was like in the middle on the front side.
Yep.
But we found our way, and we had just an awesome
Yep.
time with each other, sisters, meeting new sisters
Yeah.
from all over,
Yes.
as far as New York.
As far as New York, we had one
Atlanta.
coming- Yes. There was one from North Carolina.
Right.
That came. Brunswick,
Right.
Georgia.
Miss Dale Cena.
Yeah. Let me get Dale Cena on here.
Yeah. Dale is up there. I think I saw her already.
Is she already on there? Okay.
Yes, and Miss Kathy, I see her on. Kathy, I need for you to call in when we open up the lines.
Yes,
Miss
yes.
Dorothea's on there.
Yes.
I'm shouting all you out. And Miss Naomi
And Miss
joined.
Naomi,
Yes,
yes.
our very own author. We have Naomi. She's in Tyler
Yeah.
right now on her way back to the
Yeah.
trees of Jasper.
I know it. Miss Naomi had an opportunity to have a. I'm not quite sure what it was today, but I know she was actually kind of talking about her book as well today.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
we're excited about-
not just one book. She has
She got a lot
several
of them.
books
She
that
sure
she's
does,
written.
yes.
So we're so proud of her and what God is doing in her life as
Amen.
well.
Amen.
So I don't know if Miss Samaris is out there, but Miss Samaris, you can call in too. And Miss Tanya.
all of those. ladies.
All of them. So we're just excited. What we're going to do today, we want to just talk a little bit about body, soul, and spirit, and we might throw a little bit in about what happened at the retreat, because
Yeah.
we do have our next retreat, which is 2020 vision.
Yes, you're excited.
2020 vision in 2020.
2020.
Yeah, and so we would probably be talking about 21 going really
know,
at the
right?
before
Before it's over with.
before it's all over with. But I mean, at the retreat when we go in October, we're gonna have 5 days, and by the time we leave, we're gonna be prepared for 21.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah,
That is
21.
really the purpose of it all. Faith is to all year long we're going to be prepping the women up and really getting them to see what it is that God sees within them, so that when they come to the retreat, they're really just coming for confirmation. That's
Right,
all.
yes.
And then also for confirmation, activation, and to be released as well. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah.
released.
Yeah, released.
Released.
Yeah, released.
Released to go get some more. Some
Yeah,
more ladies to
do
come
all
in.
that God wants you to do.
That's right. It was just a blessing because, as women, and since we are on the Women's Empowerment Show, we're going to talk about us.
Yes.
And so as women, it was just so beautiful to see the 105 women come together.
Yeah.
And it was so touching. When we got there, we really didn't know each other, and then we got in our tribes,
yeah.
and our tribes were, oh my goodness,
of them were
just
amazing.
really
Yeah.
amazing. And then on Sunday to close it out,
Oh
I
my-
mean, it
wasn't
was
that an
so,
explosion?
it was so powerful. It was just.
Yeah.
I just haven't gotten enough rest yet.
I know. I haven't.
I'm
know what,
still
Faith? I
rested.
keep falling asleep. When I get to work, I'll go to my car and I'll lay my seat back and I keep falling asleep. And I don't know if it's because all those restless nights that we had trying to plan and get ready. All of that. So we're all
pressing
and pressing through.
Lord Jesus, I mean, you talking about the oil of press.
Yeah.
That olive oil came out.
Yes, it did.
Because you know, all of us who are on the planning committee, we all have our own lives. We have work, we have family, we have other issues, and we were pressing with those and pressing with the operations detox. Baby, we were detox.
Yeah, we were.
We were detox.
And you know what, Faith? One of the things that, you know, I think the reason that God gave me the vision for body, soul, and spirit is because there's a process that we have to get through for cleansing.
Yes.
You know, even for God to come in and do a great work. And sometimes the biggest thing is just showing up. I used to really, I learned in ministry when I first started that the hardest thing was showing up every time.
Yes, being consistent.
Being consistent, because I had so many other obstacles that were, you know, facing me, like raising the children, being a single parent, you trying to get the kids ready, you got your passion, you know, but still you got all these other things that are going on. And God just kept saying, if you can just get to the house of the Lord.
Just get there.
And every time I got there, I always remember when he said to enter into his courts with thanksgiving, enter into his courts with praise, be thankful unto him and bless his name. That has been what has stuck in my heart for the past 20 plus years, because I noticed if I could get that body in the building,
just
God
get it in there.
that soul.
Oh yes.
Do you hear me? All that stuff that was going on, because by the time we got into worship and we got to the altar and all that kind of stuff, he was working on that soul. So by the time you left that place, you were in a right spiritual place with God, so that God could do a building and a, you know, a work in your life.
Yes.
So.
And so excuse me, I think I'm still trying to get through these allergies and hoarseness, but the rest and the detox and getting up at 6:30 in the morning and going through our different mentoring sessions and all that together just brings forth what we call vision.
Yes.
And I know we want to talk a little bit about vision. And guess what? We did do some vision boards.
Yeah, I did do vision
We did.
Board. Sure
and
did.
some of the sisters in Cabin Free, they did the vision boards, and they talked about it on Sunday morning before we went over to Lakeside Manor. And they kind of processed out what they did and what their vision was, and it was really, really powerful. It was impactful, and it was so much depth in there. It was a mixture of everything, not just one vision, but they had several visions. Yes. And so, you know, having a vision and then having it to come to pass, you see it. B is that in between stuff. Okay. That we know that God gave it to us, and we don't know how it's going to get there. Oh my God. And C is when you finally see it. And that Sunday, I mean, tears were coming down. It was
overwhelming.
It was overwhelming. It was overwhelming.
You know, Faith, I had gotten to. I was telling Jennifer a little bit earlier that she was asking me, you know, almost when did it really, the reality of everything really just hit. You know, sometimes in ministry, when you're, you know, doing what it is that God has called you to do, and sometimes you got to wear a whole bunch of hats.
Five hats.
Yeah, you got to be the usher, you got to be the deacon board, you got to be the, you know, the choir director, you got to be all of those things. And you never know which hand that you're going to have to, or which hat you're going to have to put on. And I think during the process of preparing and getting ready, you know, my hat got switched very early. I had plans on we had things planned out to the T to what we were supposed to be doing. And we saw how quickly your plans can get disrupted.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and when the rest of the world does not understand what it is, we have to bring things back into order. But even though we know what was really supposed to take place and it doesn't happen, you got to bring order back into the house and change hats and walk in love and walk in ministry. So that was definitely an experience. And I thank God for teaching us how to be very versatile, even through our mentoring program. We have had to learn how to switch in a lot of different areas, how to be sensitive, you know, how to meet the needs. And you just never know when you're going to have to exercise those things. So
that's true.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you have those who are with you and they say, oh yes, we can do it, but they might not understand the
vision
full, and the work.
Yeah, and the work.
And sometimes, you know, we have to encourage each other
Yes.
to keep
Yes.
just keep on.
Yeah.
Just keep on. We might not understand everything.
Yes.
Sometimes I didn't understand everything, Miss Marilyn. I didn't. I mean, but I kept pushing.
Yes.
Kept pushing.
Yeah.
Because when you don't have, you might see a part of it, and you might not see the whole thing, the whole vision. Because remember, we started with 35.
I told her that. Yeah.
We started with 30.
We started with 35 people.
We see on Facebook, I got another cabin.
Got another cabin.
I got another cabin. I got another cabin.
Yeah.
I said, Miss Marilyn, oh my God.
Yeah.
Got another cabin. I'm like,
but
okay.
we had a number in our head to begin with and dropped down to 35.
Yeah.
And the number that I had at the beginning was 125. That was what was in my head, but reality said you better get them 35.
Yeah.
And once I saw the 35 coming in very quick, I knew that the 125 was coming in too. I think with vision, one of the things that we have to remember is that it comes from God. There's a book by Dr. Miles Monroe. It's called The Principle and Power of Vision.
Yes.
And one of the things that he says is that vision is not what you see with your eyes.
Right.
Yes.
Vision is what you see in your heart.
Yes.
And you have to go back to the heart of the matter. And all I kept seeing was women that were crying out, women that were hungry. And once I saw an influx of them coming at the very beginning, I said, how many more of them behind that? See, because one door was going to open up the door for others, and another door was going to open up the door for others, because sometimes we're not safe until we see our friends doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And see, I'm not going on Miss Marilyn's accord. I'm going because I want to be with my friend over here, and not understanding that it was really a move of God. And we just have to trust what the Lord says. He's never going to tell you how he's going to go about doing it. He just asks you to walk by faith. We don't walk by sight.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yes. And so we walked. We did walk.
We did.
We walked.
We did.
And it was a good walk.
Yeah.
It was a very good walk. And you learn a lot about yourself too.
Yes.
Through it all.
Yeah.
And God, I know I got stretched. I really, and not so much about the retreat. I got stretched on my job. I got stretched on all those other things while trying to integrate it.
Yes.
In order to meet certain due dates, certain this, make sure, because we were taking care of our people. You want to make sure that they get the information, make sure everything. So, it was a press, but it was all for it. It was worth it. I would do it 100 times over.
And I think with vision, I remember Sunday morning, one of the ladies and I took an early morning walk. That was the last day. And I never forget, she texted me like at 4 something in the morning time, about 4:30 in the morning. And she said, I'm up. And she said, when you're ready to walk, I'm ready. So I'm laying there like, oh my God, I probably just laid down, but I knew that I needed to meet with her before we left. She and I have worked in ministry before, and she's that early riser. And sometimes what I notice is that there are people that are undergirding you in prayer, and they're undergirding you, taking on a lot of the load that you have, so you can just continue to keep pressing on. But when I got out there and we began to start talking, we talked about how much that vision had come to pass, and how we were looking around. And, we talked about, Marilyn, I remember almost 20 years ago you were talking about this. And I didn't. And a lot of times when you're talking about it, you don't even know what you're talking about. All you're talking about is what you see. I saw something here. I didn't see it right here. I saw it right here. And the crazy thing is, every now and then I had tried on different occasions to get women to go, to different things, and had failed at it. Had literally failed at it. And sometimes to say, I never want to do that again. I never want to, bring a group of women like that again. And later on, you never know how God will stir you back up to do it once again.
Is so true.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to keep it alive. That's what it says.
Exactly.
And you have to wait on it.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't really know what we're seeing.
Yeah. Exactly.
Especially if God gives you something 20 years ago.
Yeah. It was a long time
You
ago.
don't know the magnitude of it.
But you know what, Faith, when God gives you something like that, see, he'll show it to you, and then he tell you to walk it out. And it may be 20 years of walking it out, because first you got to learn how to deal with people. You got to learn how to deal with rejection. You got to learn how to deal with masses. I mean, it's a whole lot that God has got to teach you about. You got to get over your softness, because you can't deal with that many people and try to be, just weak. I'll put it like that.
Right.
And so you're having to balance the scale. I never forget how God, was teaching me how to not be so black and not be so white. You know how it is. I was all church at one time. And then it's like I started kind of mixing in with the world a little bit. And I'm like, I can't go too far over there, God. And the Lord said, I'm just giving you a taste of what's going to come in. And I need you to remain neutral in the middle of it all. Because not only are you working with the church, you're working with the unchurched as well.
Right.
So it was a major combination. That was the biggest stretching, I think, of my life, having to go through that. And I think once you can make it through that valley and shadow of death, you ready for what God wants you to do.
And it also teaches you how to trust God.
Yes.
He's going to show it to you, and he's not going to lie to you and say, "Oh, this is what's going to happen," and it doesn't happen.
Exactly.
It teaches you how to trust him.
Yes.
And how to listen to each direction that he gives you, because if you don't follow it the way that he gives it to you, it's not going to happen. That's right. That's good, Jennifer.
Yeah,
because
good.
a lot of times in vision, and I've seen this happen before. Sometimes when you are sharing your vision with others, and if you ever get scared, you can pass your vision on to someone else.
Absolutely.
And someone else will walk it out, and it won't be what God said.
Yes.
It's because you did not obey what he said.
Yep.
Somewhere you were trying to take the lesser road with that.
Right.
You didn't want to deal with the heartache or the heartbreak with it all. And then when it turned out, it did not turn out the way God said it, because that was not their assignment to do.
Right. That's true. That's true. And even in that case, God could give you a vision, but if you're not obedient and going forward with it and trusting him that he knows what's going on. I mean, that and he knows. He'll give it to someone.
He'll give it to
someone else.
Yeah.
He'll give it to someone else, and then you see it and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Wait, that was not. No.
Yeah. You didn't walk out.
You didn't
on
walk it out.
Faye, can you imagine how many women were there that saw that God gave me this vision, and I didn't walk it out?
Yeah. Oh my God. It was so much that happened.
Yeah.
It was so
Because you can't
much.
tell me that God has not shown that to somebody else.
Right.
And they were scared. Either they were fearful, they worried about the money, where the money gonna come from. Because you know how we are. We are so analytical. We think, we try to see the beginning and the end, and we're gonna do this and how we're gonna do this, how we're gonna do that, and we talk ourselves out of it because we don't trust the process of what God is going to do.
We overthink it.
We overthink it a whole lot.
That's good. We overthink
We
stuff.
overthink it.
And sometimes it doesn't. It could be very simple. Sometimes we make it, more than what it is. I mean, you're coming together with women, you're sharing, you're doing different activities.
Yes.
It's not really rocket science.
It's not rocket science.
But sometimes, make it more than what it is. And it doesn't take a whole lot. Just bring you some jeans and a t-shirt.
I know.
You don't have to go get no wardrobe.
Yeah. And bring your heart.
And bring your heart.
Yeah. Bring a heart of servanthood.
Let's
faith,
talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Let's turn this air up while we talk.
We're trying to get the temperature adjusted in here, even though it's probably 67 degrees outside. It's warm in here.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It is warm in here. But that's all I want to be, is a servant.
Yes.
And in the Bible it says, and I'm not gonna say where it is, but me and Marilyn about the same.
Yeah.
We know the script.
We know the script. We don't know where to find it.
But it's in there. It's in there. But
They tore it up.
But I'm gonna give you a phrase. Your gift will make room for you.
Yeah.
It will. In the timing, and in the season, and then your gift. But he gives us gifts, plural, gifts. So in this season where he's working, or he's really unveiling to you this one gift. Yeah. When you work that out, he's going to give you another one. He sure because will. He wants to expand us, right?
Yes.
He wants to give us.
The masses.
Excuse me?
You have to reach the masses.
Oh, yeah. You have to reach the masses. Yeah. But guess what? We can reach the masses by sowing one seed. That's what I talked about in our cabin. Yeah. The 25 that were there, if we have the seed to sow, and we put it in the ground and it grows, that is duplication.
Yes.
Yeah.
In time.
You're duplicating yourself, and how that person will impact someone else, and it keeps growing and growing and growing.
Exactly. I think when it comes down to servanthood, I think it's misunderstood what servanthood is about. Some people think servanthood is about works. If I do all of this and I do all of that, and servanthood is really being able to reach the need of individuals. That means you have to be available for that. That means if it's trash on the floor, guess what? Pick the trash up. Available. That's not for instance, for an individual that's not walking in complete servanthood. I mean, it's not saying they're not a child of God or anything, but they'll see the paper, and they're so fixated on that's not my job. I'm not supposed to be doing that. But if it's right there, all you have to do is pick it up, because you never know how the Lord wants to humble you in the midst of something like that. That's what we call changing those hats, and you becoming all things that you're needing to be. But we miss out on that a lot, and I think it's because our love factor is broken.
When you said that, I could take it back to our other side of life. When you said it's not in our job description.
In our job description.
We can take that into the workplace as well. Because you do have other duties as a sign. Yeah. But, sometimes we look at our job and we don't have vision. We don't even have vision. In the job, as our places of business change their vision, their mission,
you have to be able to move with it.
And they're not going to write a new job description just when they make a change.
Right.
That's exactly right.
You got to catch it. You got to catch it, or you be out there on the street. You got to catch it, and you got to flow with it.
Yeah. And that is difficult for some, because we just got it in our mind that it's just like one way and that's it. But you have to be flexible. I was sharing with Jennifer how during the time, and I don't think I'll ever forget this moment, we were having to pick up some ladies from the airport. And it wasn't the way that I had planned for it to be, because I'm thinking, bam, we're gonna go pick them up. First of all, I woke up and forgot where I was at. I thought I was in Tyler, but I was really in Dallas, and I thought it was Saturday morning, but it was really Friday. So I had already got out, and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot about all the traffic. So I'm having to get there, and I got there on time to get the ladies and everything, but I underestimated the flights. Because they can be delayed.
That's true.
There's a lot of things that can go on. You have to think about the weather conditions,
where they left from. Not only here.
Yes. And so I'm thinking about all of that. And first of all, I'm having to switch a hat to become the transportation woman right about now. To go get them, and then I'm having to be patiently waiting. And then we picked up a lady had come in from the airport that we were not originally picking up. But why would I have her go and get a rental car when I got a truck already there? And their flights were coming in right at the same time. I got to switch hats, and I got to go out, what they say, leave the 99 and go after the one. And so during those times, because those are those acts of compassion that you have, because later on you're thinking, all right, this lady's going to be driving by herself. Why would I make her do that when we're supposed to be family? She's already driving long distance. So all of those things are happening.
She already flew in.
She's already flown in.
And then driving by yourself.
Yeah.
Unfamiliar
in Texas. In the sticks in the woods down there.
Let me tell you something. Now, I use Google and I use Waze faithfully.
Yes.
Waze took us through the meadow, the pond, all around. It took us longer to get there. I mean, it took us an extra hour with Waze. And Tara was in the car with me, and I'm like, Tara, God, you're gonna have to protect us. If something happens to this car, we didn't see but one car down this road. Okay, it wasn't like a major highway, so we went all through the road, up the hill, all around, and I'm like, no, I would not like to drive that by myself.
That was a challenge.
Thank you, Marilyn.
So you had to think about a lot of things, and then. I mean, when I tell you it was an experience, all the way, it was so much happening on that day, and you're still trying to stay calm and remember that you're still a servant. Where do I need to be served at right now? I'm having to send the bus on. I had to pull on another sister. I hope she was ready to be a servant because she had to take that bus on to get that bus. I'm like, Lord, when I tell you, we stretching in ministry over here. But God did it, and I think God showed us some things within ourselves as to how available we really are for him.
I know it started Thursday evening with me. I don't even know if you heard the message I left you on your phone, but the tire went out. Tire went out. I said, Marilyn, I know this is going to be dynamite because the devil is busy already.
But he was picking at the ladies too. And when they were dropping like flies.
But you know what? That's how you know something.
It's going to be something special.
The move of God is going to happen because everything happens to knock you off that track.
Does.
Distract you from distractions. From getting where you need to be.
Exactly.
I said he wasn't gonna distract me. I'm getting there. I had to crawl there, right?
we all at the last minute trying to get there, and then try to explain it to people what's going on. That was an experience there.
Yes, he did. God
we
did.
learned a lot. Yeah.
Oh, we did that journey.
How to better serve.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. And then when you get to Broken Bow, there's no super center. There's no Walmart super center.
They look like a TJ&Y. Pulling up too.
The old Walmart.
Yeah, old Walmart.
I said, all right, Broken Bow, we're here. We're taking over here.
Yeah.
So it was good. Great. It was really good.
Even our bus driver, oh my God. Did you see at the end when he came and joined the circle with us, joined us in prayer? And then we had neighbors. Did you see our neighbors?
I didn't.
Oh, we did Zumba. We were doing Zumba on Saturday, and I was videoing, and I looked up and I saw men. It was a women's retreat, and I looked up and I saw men out there doing Zumba.
Oh my
God.
I
quickly had the Zumba. I said, that must be those guys next door. They had come in. They joined in with prayer time with us and everything. Yeah, it was something else.
Next year we might as well do Zumba for the whole Broken Bow
community. For the whole Broken Bow community. Yes.
So we're going to have Zumba for everybody Broken Bow. For the whole cabin community out there. Come on, everybody.
Yeah, it was something else. We still collecting stories in from people, from the horses to the train.
You gotta tell the train story.
Oh my God, the train story was crazy. They were deciding where they were going to horseback ride and where they were going to go kart, or they were going to go on the train. But they didn't tell us it was a kiddie train.
Lord Jesus.
I look up on Facebook. And the kiddie train off the track. The wheel that went out, something that happened to it. So it was funny. All of it. I'm like, ladies, don't y'all get back on that thing no more. That was something to see.
So the engineer had to be an engineer, right?
Be a real engineer. Yes, he had to change hats.
Right.
He said, this has never happened before. Oh, wow. Yeah, so
we broke a lot of great stories. Broken Bow. Never be the same.
Never be the same.
So like when we got there, the first night on Friday night, when we came together, and when we got our bags and everything, and we came together with our tribe, that was a great God idea that he gave you about the tribe.
About the tribe.
Because we joined hands and we didn't know each other.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I didn't know the ladies that were in my tribe, but we knew each other by spirit.
Yes.
And by the end, we got back on that Sunday. We got back in our tribes again, and it was even more powerful than it was on Friday.
Yes.
Because all what we had done, over that 2-day time frame.
Yes.
And it was very, very needed.
Yeah.
I think it was very, very needed.
Yeah.
And we're connected. I've gotten more friend requests on Facebook.
I know.
I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
A lot of the ladies we started, friending each other and, and going out and still encouraging each other, you know.
Yes.
So it hasn't stopped, Marilyn.
I know it. I'm watching it every day.
I don't want it to stop. I mean, I don't want it to stop.
But you know, Faith, can you just imagine how many ladies came there that were lonely?
Oh yeah,
the friendships
that were made.
Yeah, connections.
But this is something. When I first started doing my mentoring classes, we didn't actually start. We started off as a trial with our mentoring. We had about 56, 57 ladies that came in for the first mentoring class. And one of the first things that we did, it was so many of them, and there was no way that I could find a way for everybody to get to know one another. So we did the tribal thing there. That was a major hit. And do you know that's how all the ladies got close to one another? They are still close to this day. This was back in 2012 when we did that the first time. And all of those ladies, they became very, very close to one another. They started reaching out, taking care of each other. And God just did something that I probably could have never done on my own. Because when you're sitting across the table from another lady, how many times, say for instance, if it's something that you're needing, how often would you just walk over to them and say, hey, you know, I like your shoes, or I like your hair, or, you know, how did you do such and such, or whatever. And I remember one of the sessions that we were there, and I'm trying to teach during the session, and we had it like in a horseshoe form in the room, and the ladies were watching each other in the room, because that's what we do. We size each other up, we do all that, and they were watching each other, and the Spirit said, break them up. And I stopped right in the middle of what I was doing. I said, let's kind of do something a little different here. I said, you know that sister you've been watching across the room? I said, I need everybody to get up. Everybody to get up and go over to that sister you've been watching and tell her what it is that you are admiring about her. See, because right now she's feeling some kind of way. Because you watching her and she don't know why you're watching her. Perception. You need to make it real. Let her know why you're watching her. When I tell you it was such an outpouring that took place in that room that day, hearts they were just, because it's not always somebody criticizing or somebody not liking you. Sometimes that comes from things that we have gone through before. You sitting in a critical environment. It could be in your household. Everybody's, you know, making a mockery of you or whatever. And when you come in the company of other people, you think that that's what's going on. No, we need to cut this out because I'm not going to be able to teach while this spirit is in here. So let's get up and go share with that sister what it is. I don't think they did that no more. They're like, this girl crazy. Because I really needed them to know it's not as it appears to be. We're all in here for one thing. We're trying to better our lives. But they really are the Ultimate Connection family. They are very, very close to one another. Very close.
And you know, we're talking about our body. So we had a chef. To come in, and we curbed our diet to detox. So we had very good food,
but minimal.
Minimal, no sugar. we had no sugar. We had a little cream in our coffee.
Let me tell you, I got to put a disclaimer out there.
I got to do something. Go, you do yours first.
Before Delilah. Now, when Delilah was fixing the meals, I said, Delilah, there's not enough food for them people. She said, that'd be all right. I said, Delilah, it's 25 people in that cabin. She said, you had a detox retreat. They don't need to be eating all of that. And see, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to take the hit for this, because these people are over here hungry in these cabins, and they're gonna eat what they normally eat. So the next person is probably not gonna get much. I had the hardest time trying to get Delilah to understand that ain't enough food for them. She said, they'll be all right.
Well, we were all right.
Oh my God.
So what did you have to do? Did you have to portion the, like,
some people didn't eat.
Well,
let's tell the truth.
Goodness.
Tell the truth.
Well,
tell the truth.
You know, wait, I'm gonna put my finger up and walk out there. Okay, I could say I didn't eat a meal. I wasn't gonna take from someone. I didn't eat a meal one time. But it was okay, because I got things to live for. I got some extra stuff I can live off on. But what I did do, I did kind of cheat a little bit. I got a cheesecake for the ladies.
Did you? Oh, I heard they had chicken in the room. They don't want to got some chicken.
I went to the store, got some fried chicken.
I wanted to go bury my head in the room when I saw that food going out. I'm like, I'm going to take a hit for this right here, because a lot of this is not enough food for these people, but the food was so good.
It was good.
It was so
it was real good. And you know, Delilah gave us a really good teaching when she dropped the food off, because she's a vegetarian.
That's it.
And she started talking about how sick she was.
Yeah.
And how changing her whole lifestyle into a vegetarian lifestyle really saved her life.
Yep.
And she started talking about bone broth. Did she talk to you about that? She said if you get bone broth, that it'll give you nutrients and vitamins and things for your body to sustain it. Yeah. But it is so nutritious.
Really?
Bone broth. Yeah, get some bone broth.
Yeah.
And she said it'll start, just detoxing you, but it will detox and put in you the right things that need to be in there. Yeah. So she gave a good teaching about that. Yeah. And she said she's very open to anybody to contact her on Facebook if they want to go over to a vegan lifestyle or plant-based. That's what she was saying, plant-based, that she would be more than happy.
Yeah.
To
her
talk
food
to them
was
about
amazing.
it. Yes.
Oh my God.
I heard y'all had s'mores over there too.
Yeah, we had s'mores on Saturday night.
That wasn't vegan.
That wasn't vegan. But she brought it for us, so we were like, we're gonna do the marshmallows tonight.
We got a little jealous. We found out. We got a little jealous about that.
Yes.
But yeah, it's important, the body, as far as exercising and things like that, for our body to be healthy.
Yes.
Not to get healthy for the wrong reasons. And meaning that trying to keep up with Sister Jones over there. But you know what,
to be
healthy for yourself.
When I think about it, like I said, I don't think everything has just set in on us just yet as to everything that happened. I think everything happened for a reason.
Oh yeah.
When we're at the retreat like that, I think sometimes we come with the basis of what we know, and this is what should be done, or this is how things ought to happen.
Flow.
And we're not thinking about what God wants to do. That could have been just the time that God wanted to detox us from from all of that unhealthy food that we've been eating.
The abundance of it.
Because that's what I kept hearing in my ear. I said, God, I don't know if it wasn't enough food. I think we're used to an abundance of food. And if Delilah's lifestyle has already changed, she's probably cooking according to the way that she sees, and then the way she wants us to see it. Right. I think sometimes we have to try to get a good understanding of things, of why people do like they do. Right. Because, like I said, the stuff was really, really good. We may not have understood her process with it. That's all.
Right. So I was asking if, they were already portioned out, like if she made the plates. Because I think if it was set up like a buffet, I think we overindulge when we see
a lot of stuff.
We try to get what we can, not thinking about the person behind it.
Think about when you go to Golden Corral and you see
all that food.
You see Miss Susie with her purse.
What she got in that purse?
Right. She done put a couple pieces of chicken.
Some pies,
a late night snack.
Yeah, she done put everything in there.
So we do overindulge.
Yep.
We do. But I think that even in lack, we find resources.
Oh my God, it happened.
Even in lack. If you don't have something, you'll think of something to do or on how to make the need. Yeah. And I thought it was wonderful.
Yeah, I love the way they came together.
You put everybody together as a team. Yes. It really showed teamwork.
It really did. It really did.
It really did. You come together on one accord, one mind, one spirit.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do now?
Yeah.
So when we were waiting for breakfast, we prayed.
Yes.
We went into soaking prayer.
Yeah. Waiting on breakfast.
Yes. And all of us went to our different places where we could just be with God and let him pour into us. And some of us might have written down some things that he spoke to us. Yeah. We might have gotten a release or whatever. And then we came back to the living room. And that's when ministry started. We shared all day long.
All day.
Now, some ladies did go on, and do the activities, which was fine.
Yeah.
But when they came back, we picked up where we left off.
Yeah.
And I mean, everybody was ministered to. We shared, we opened our hearts. And now one thing we did all do, we vowed to confidentiality.
Yes.
I think that's so important.
Yeah.
Because some of the things that we talked about were very personal.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and so it's good that we put it out there that we're not going to share
that information.
The intimate. It's okay if they share, but I'm not going to share.
You're not going to share it for them. Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So it was really good. It was really good.
It's amazing, Faith, how even when I think back on just the vision of it all, I think the vision was Ultimate Connections all together without people knowing that that's what it was. Because I thought about when we first started, we did our first Girl Talk event. Faith, we didn't have any money.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't have any money. We really didn't know how we were going to do everything. All I knew was the vision that was there. But you had giving hearts.
Yes.
People that were really willing to use their resources to help promote your dream because it was going to benefit their families as well. I remember our first gathering. I think about in the book of Acts. That's the only thing I can think about when it says
Second
that
chapter.
they went from house to house. They were house to house distributing whatever the needs were.
Yes.
And that's what we used. We went in, Faith, when I tell you we pulled our money together, we went in our houses. We were trying to make it beautiful in the place.
Yes.
We pulled furniture. We pulled all kind of stuff.
yes.
We were at the hotel putting furniture in place. The ladies that were there at the beginning, they remember we put furniture in places. We used everything we had. That's what they did in the book of Acts. And I think sometimes we make life too hard.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Make
You
it too
don't have
complicated.
to. You don't have to have all the stuff that you think that you have. You need to have servant hearts.
Yeah.
That's all. People that are willing to, distribute, the extra that God has given to them. God has given you abundance of finances. Why? So that you can bless the kingdom. I think one of the things that we miss is an opportunity for God to come back and bless us through our service. Because if you were lacking in funds, guess what you should have been doing during that time? Sowing.
Yeah. Yep.
Sewing.
That's what you should have been doing.
Yeah.
If you were lacking in friendship or whatever,
friendship.
you should have been sowing friendship. Sometimes we miss moments like that because we're looking for the big wow.
Yeah.
Wow me, because we're not walking in servanthood.
Yeah.
It's all about us. What can they do for me?
Right.
They didn't do this. They didn't do that. They didn't do that. But I wonder sometimes how many of the people that were asking that ever asked the question, God, what can I do?
What can I do?
What can I do to help?
My hand.
I guarantee you probably 75% never asked that question, what could I do? The Lord was setting all of us up to bless us at that place, but because we missed the mark and we think everything is about us, that's not what they did in the book of Acts. They came and served one another so that there would be no lack anywhere.
No lack anywhere. Yeah. I just want to go back. One of my dear friends who is watching, he is a vegan.
Yes.
Mr. Darrell, he said that vegetable broth is also as good as bone broth.
Yes.
So if you don't have bone broth, I know everybody don't find bone broth in Kroger.
Okay.
But you can use vegetable broth. So that's
yes.
just a substitute.
Yes.
So I want to bring that out. And he's big on changing vegan. He's plant-based, and he's getting ready to do some really big things. He's on Facebook. He shares recipes.
Yeah.
He made some vegan macaroni and cheese.
Tag me, Mr. Bailey. I saw him on there. What's his name? Daryl. Mr. Daryl Bailey. Make sure you tag me.
Yeah, I'll give you.
I really do want to do vegan.
Yeah, he has a big vision to help people get healthy. And and it started with him.
Yeah.
But
So
you
maybe
maybe
one
one
day-
of the diseases are
Yes.
caused by some of the meats that
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
and, a
So-
lot of the processed foods and the
Oh,
stuff
yeah, all
from
the
fast
additives.
food restaurants,
Yes.
even the restaurants where you sit down and eat. I think a
Yeah.
lot of that stuff is causing a lot of these diseases.
Diseases.
And he said low sodium.
Yes, low sodium.
Okay, Daryl, get ready.
Tag us,
you're gonna be
Mr.
on the
Darryl.
show one day.
I know, right?
Because we gotta get our bodies
healthy.
right.
Yes,
We gotta get our
yes.
bodies right.
Exactly.
He said,
I love
"Amen."
it.
Okay, I'm gonna get you.
Yeah. So, Mrs. Jennifer, we're over here talking about the retreat a whole lot. We want to hear from you some too.
Oh, before you start, Jennifer. Okay, all ladies that were at the retreat, get ready
So
because
call
we're
in.
gonna give you the number to call in, and we want to hear from you.
Yes.
I know all of our cabins off the hook, off the chain, cabin free, sweet retreat, Lakeside Manor
in the house.
Lakeside in the house. We want to hear from you guys, and we know that you are more than able to share what God did.
Amen,
So, Miss
amen.
Jennifer, go ahead.
Oh, well, I hate that I missed the retreat.
Well, you won't miss it
Sounds
next year. Come
no,
on.
I am not.
$50 deposit.
That's right.
Listen,
Get them in, Faith.
no, I'm all about encouragement, and I just feel like just seeing the videos, seeing the pictures of so many women coming together from all walks of life,
Yeah.
from all over the United States. I mean,
Yeah.
it was really a blessing to see that, because when you think of Black women coming together in one spot, you think that there's going to be so much drama, there's going to be so many problems and
Yeah.
so many issues because of what the world sees us as.
Mm-hmm.
But to see it through the eyes of God, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And I hope that people are watching. I hope people see that, this is what God wants us to be. This is how we should be acting towards each other. Not just women.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to take advantage of this.
Oh,
So,
yeah, most
I mean,
definitely.
I think that it should be something that is a yearly thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Every
Absolutely,
year.
for everybody to take advantage of.
Yeah, and to bring our men involved.
Yes,
get our men
in.
involved
Our
because
children.
the whole family needs to be ministered
Absolutely.
to. The whole family. And when you were saying that, I think that as people, we need to appreciate our uniqueness.
Exactly. Faith.
All of us are unique because God is a God of creativity, and when you create, everything is not the same.
Yes.
So our anointings are different, our callings are different, our techniques are different, our platforms are different, but the thing that holds it in the middle is God.
Yeah.
We're all on that same plane. And so I think it's great that we can go in and out and experience different types of ministry and how we all are giving God the glory.
That's right.
We're
That's
all
right.
giving God the glory. So, everybody's not going to hoop and holler.
That's right.
You're
That's
right.
right.
Everybody's not going to fall out on the floor. But
Everybody's not gonna speak in tongues.
true.
Yeah.
True. But it's important that we all, we glorify God together, and he gets the glory for all what he puts in us. So
Exactly.
that creativity needs to, just to be, I think, emphasized a lot, because sometimes we don't appreciate, because we get so used to a certain type of ministry or certain type of preaching or whatever, and when you hear someone different, your ears are so conditioned that you don't hear God sometimes, and God is speaking to you through that person that you might have never experienced before, or might be a little
Exactly.
different, right?
Yeah.
Diversity. That's
Diversity.
the bottom line is diversity. We
And I
need
mean,
to be
we're-
more diverse.
We're all in the body of Christ.
Yes.
There's not one person that has one particular thing.
Say
we have
that again.
eyes, we have ears, we have a mouth, we
Yeah.
have arms, we have legs. Even the cells in our body are different.
Yeah.
Right, our DNA.
So when they all work together, they keep the body going.
Yes.
And
yes.
that's how we are in
Right.
the body of Christ.
Yeah.
Not one person is the same.
Yeah.
And we have to take that into consideration and be open-minded about that, because I think we, like you said, we get conditioned to hear one thing and we think that that's the right thing.
Right.
And there's a whole world out there that's serving God in a way that they believe, and it's different from what we do, but it's all the same thing. We're all worshiping God.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. That kind of brings me to just thought of comparisons as women, how we often compare ourselves to others, not really appreciating the uniqueness that God has created within us.
Right.
We all got flaws. We all got, different things about ourselves that we, don't like. And then we got some things that we're very proud of.
Right.
And but everybody is fighting some of the same fights out there. So there's no room to compare with any, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
The light-skinned woman got just as many issues as the dark-skinned. The fat got just as many as the skinny. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
All of
exactly.
that.
You're right.
So we
You're
have to
so
be
right.
comfortable, in our skin. And
Yes.
then, yeah.
Definitely comfortable in our
We have
skin.
to remember that God made us in His image.
And his likeness.
So if
yes.
you are talking about, your neighbor, you're talking about another woman or another man, you're talking about God.
Yourself, exactly.
Yeah, you're talking about yourself.
And you're talking about yourself.
Yes.
You're downing yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's we need
Yeah.
to get out of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We really do.
That's a mirror image. When you one of the things I always teach my mentees is that when you hear someone talking about you about something, they're not
really-
talking about you, they're talking about themselves.
Right.
Right.
And sometimes that's the hardest thing to see because the ear heard or the eye saw something, but the spirit says something totally different.
Right,
Because he says out of the abundance of your heart,
Your mouth
your
speaks.
mouth speaks. And so if you've never known me and you're saying that, you must be bringing that from somewhere else.
Yeah.
So we have to take that image of what somebody said off of us and give it back to them and start praying for
Right.
them
Yeah.
that they will speak well of themselves
Right.
and that will let wholesome things come out of their mouths and different things like that. That kind of took me today. I had to go to we were doing a project at Mission Arlington, and when I got there, they told us that because we were coming from DBU that we were
What's
ready
DBU?
to Dallas Baptist University.
Oh, okay. So
And
everybody knows that.
Yeah, so we were already in a form of ministry. So
Okay.
they were going to put us in the front with the people that were coming in to sign in and needing different helps or whatever. And you're always going to run into somebody, Faith, that you're going to have to share a piece of you, even though you're supposed to be doing something, you're switching hats. And there was one lady that walked in, and of course they catch your eye. And the lady, she kept watching me or whatever. And sure enough, when it came down to it, I end up getting her. And so as soon as we sat down, the lady started talking about all the ailments, all the issues that were going on with her. And immediately, see, because we are not wired to take on everybody's problems.
Right.
But what we can do is take them into the presence of God.
Yeah.
See, because if you start acting like you're God, trying to fix all their problems, they're going to keep dumping on you.
Right.
But I wanted to make sure to remember the assignment. Lord, I'm bringing her back to you with that.
Yes.
Then on the other hand, I had a young lady that came in, and they give you an option. Do you want food, clothes, you needing hardware, whatever? And this lady comes in and she said all she needed was a coat. And her address was missing on the form.
Oh, homeless.
And so, yeah, I was looking and I said, well, what is your address? I need to put your address on. And she said, well, I don't have an address right now. And so I didn't want to, make her feel bad. And I said, so a coat is she said, a coat and a jacket is all that I'm needing. I don't need any food or whatever. And immediately the Spirit said she must be homeless. And so I started I asked her when I got to, do you mind if I pray with you? And I started praying. See, a lot of these prayers come from places that you visited in your own life.
Oh, come on.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
I
Yes.
remember the times when it could have been me.
Yes. Or it was you.
Or it was me. And I had to think back. I had to go back some years. And my daughter has this thing, what would you say to the younger you?
Yeah.
And I had to remember if I were sitting in her shoes,
Right.
what would I want somebody to say to me? I need my life redirected.
Yes.
I need favor to come up on me. I need the right people to come across my path.
Right.
That was my
Connections.
opportunity, to make that connection. I said, Lord, I can't see her the rest of the way.
Yeah.
But right here, while I have this moment with her, I'm gonna take this opportunity to shift the winds with her, so that just in case that's all she needed was just a touch of the anointing. Let's shift this thing for her. Get her off the street, God. Do what needs to be. See, See, ministry comes in so many different forms.
Yes.
And if I'm sitting up here and compare, well, why is she out there, this, and we're judging? No, this ain't the time to judge anybody.
Yeah.
This is the time to think back, what if it had been you? What would you have wanted somebody to do for you?
And that brings back the class that I was teaching on everyone communicates, but few connect.
I love that.
You connected.
Yes.
And that's what it's all about. I think we miss it a lot, just going our everyday life, that we are supposed to be connecting with people.
Yes.
And it doesn't always have to be a prayer. But people are valuable.
Yes,
First
ma'am.
of all, we have to recognize that people are valuable.
Yes.
And regardless of wherever their economic standing is or who they are, whatever, people are valuable.
Yeah.
And we have to learn how to connect with people where they are.
Yes. Meet them where they are.
Where they are.
Love them
Connect.
where they are.
Love them where they are.
Yes. But communicate to them to a point where they can connect with you and you can connect with them. And when that connection happens, that's where God can start
Did
to
you
work.
hear me? Yes.
Because, he's not down here in our body. He works through us. So that person needs us
Yes.
to get what they need.
To get what they
and
need.
we need to get with them so they can give us what we need.
Yeah.
So
Because
it's
she
a
really
connection.
needed more than a coat.
Yeah, she did.
She needed a connection.
She needed a connection.
Yeah, to get her off the street. Because that was my prayer tonight.
Yes.
Make a shift with her. I don't know how you're going to do it, God, but make a shift with her. Everybody needs somebody around them that's full of the Holy Ghost. Do you hear me?
Yes, full.
That they can sense without you saying anything what it is that you need. That's why
And
we
that's
can't
important.
walk around with all of these hiccups and hang-ups and all that kind of stuff, because we miss out on opportunities to be used by God.
Yes.
Because
Because in prayer, and we talked about this at the retreat, we all have our prayer lives.
Yes.
We might be in different levels of maturity of prayer, but when God gives us something, it doesn't always mean that we have to tell the person,
I like that, Faith.
what God gave you to pray for them.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're supposed to incubate that, and we're supposed to pray for them.
Yes.
That God will do what He wants to do in order to manifest
Yes.
what should be in them or what He wants them to do in
Yes.
them. It's not always to communicate. So we have to be in a posture, and this goes for men too.
Mm-hmm.
We have midwives, and I think we have men
Yeah.
to birth out
Yeah.
babies
Yeah.
in
Those
the
young
spirit.
boys,
In the
everything.
spirit.
Mhm.
And it doesn't always mean we got to know everything.
Exactly.
Or it doesn't mean we have to say everything. You
Yeah.
just be and do the job, that assignment that God has given you to pray.
I like that, Faith.
And
I
I
like
think we
that.
miss a lot of our blessings because we look at the person. We think that some men may not be capable of reaching us like another woman would. But some of these men out here are full of the Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They know how
Yeah.
to pray.
Oh,
they
yeah.
know
Yeah.
how to reach
They're
you
soldiers.
On a deeper level.
Yeah.
And we miss it because it's like, oh, well, he's just trying to talk to me, or oh, he's just trying to do.
And
No,
that's
you
not even
missing
what
your
it
blessing.
is.
That's not what he's
Exactly.
trying to do.
Or you meet someone and you think it's supposed to be a relationship,
Yeah.
and it was an encounter.
Come on.
Right.
Come on.
Exactly.
How many times have we done that?
Yes.
We missed out
Lord.
because we don't ask God for His insight on
Yes.
what it is that
Who
needs
is that
to be
person
done.
supposed to be doing?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes. Who is that person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Identify.
Yeah.
It's not always someone's trying to,
Yeah.
move on you in
Yeah.
a way that it might be a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be a relationship, talking about friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It could, could
Yeah.
be closer than a brother.
Yeah.
Right.
But you know what,
Yeah.
Faith? That goes also back, and just thinking in hindsight, when we have been called into a position of servanthood, we have to stay in that position. That means anywhere we go, we run up on different people or whatever. You got to remember you're a servant first. And so instead of, because I think we miss it a lot of time, and I'm talking about myself too. Sometimes we miss it because we got our hands so out to where what's for me, what are you going to do for me, all those kinds of things, and not understanding that what you make happen for someone else, God comes back and make it for you. It's always going to be the spirit of reciprocity for anything that we're going to receive from God. So if we're doing anything that's outside of servanthood, you're going to miss the mark because it's not about you. That's why we hoard over things. That's why we miss the mark with God. That's how we start complaining about a lot of stuff because we're not in our position the way that we need to be.
And then the sacrifice, we look at others and then we might look at ourselves and say, oh, well, I don't have it. I don't, I can't do that. But if we all sacrifice equally at whatever level, that's the important thing. Marilyn might have $5, I might have $1.50. You might come through with the black. You might have the 10. But if we all put it together and the vision comes to pass, that's what's important. But guess what? We all sacrifice. And I think that is important, that we sacrifice equally. It might not be at the same level, but it's the equal sacrifice.
You know what, Faith? We're kind of going back to one of the cabins. I saw ministry working in all of them, but there was one particular cabin that trouble broke out in for just a little while.
Oh, okay.
There was a lot of noise or static that was going on. So much to the point to where it could have disturbed one of the leaders, because you know how when you're doing everything you can, your intentions are there, but life happens. That you don't think about what a person may have been going through before they got there. All those kinds of things. All we're thinking about is what we need. But what I thank God for, what I always say, that the Holy Ghost is a present help. In the time of trouble. Even though one may have been feeling the bulk of it, there were plenty of them that came in and filled in the gap. They literally got that thing shifted around, because where one is weak, that's where I'm strong. I'm just looking for an opportunity to serve, God. Where do you want? I didn't come here to do that, but if you need me to do that, that's what I'm going to find myself. Willing and able. And that's all we look for, is for opportunity. We don't look at troubles, because I always learn that I don't use the word trouble. I look at it as opportunity. I see it look like trouble with my eyes, but it's really an opportunity. Who's ready to be used by God? And that's a lot of time what we're needing to think about. All right, I want to get out of that state. I just want to know, God, what do you want my hands to do?
I think we had a lot of leaders there.
Oh my God,
we had a lot of and some that probably didn't recognize that they are. That they are a leader. They're walking in that calling and that leadership, but they just need an opportunity. Sometimes we don't know what's in us because we never have the opportunities to be in that place in order to operate in that flow that we need to operate in, to know that, wow, I did that, but we never have those opportunities until we put ourselves,
until you're put in a situation
that brings it about. So we should open our hearts and ask God, when we leave the house, give me an opportunity, Lord.
Say that again.
Give me an opportunity in the marketplace to serve someone. Let me be a listening ear. Let me be that woman of God, that man of God, that child of God, that I might be able to share a word or a hug. A hug goes a long way.
It sure does.
And we don't know how many ladies at the retreat haven't been touched, hugged, or anything. And even some of our senior ladies, I read an article years ago that in nursing homes, they have ministries that come in and just take lotion and just rub the elderly people their hands, because the older you get, the less you get touched.
Oh, wow.
If you think about it, you think about it, when you get older, your kids are gone. Your grandkids might be 1,000 miles away. You might not have a spouse. All your friends might have died already, your close friends.
That's true,
and you'll be there by yourself, and you have no one to touch you.
Faith, we got a caller that's on the line.
We do.
All right, caller. Let us know who you are.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, this is Naomi. This is Naomi from Jasper.
Hey, Naomi.
How are you?
I'm doing wonderful today.
How was your book signing?
Everything went well. It was a little cold because we was outside, but
Oh, okay.
it was a great time for a hug.
It was cold
I
enough.
met a lot of new people and got plenty of hugs today.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that's great. Wonderful, wonderful.
Amen.
So, what's on your heart today, Miss Naomi?
I just been enjoying the recap from the Operation Detox, and I just wanted to add in of how much the women at Off the Hook was very inspired.
Yeah.
We all came not knowing what to expect, and most of them said they don't usually hug other women or even be around a company of other women. So we had an embracing moment where everybody hugged, everybody laughed, everyone gained something from the other, and we all shared.
Oh, wonderful.
Conversation, laughs, jacuzzis. We did it all over there on Off the Hook.
Oh,
Everything was phenomenal.
You all got in the
They
jacuzzi?
sure did.
Oh, my goodness.
We had jacuzzi time.
Was
we
it
had
good?
Late night talk time, chat time, breakfast committee time. We actually cooked in our own cabin and cleaned up behind ourselves, and we had a good time.
That's great. That's great.
I love it.
I love it.
I heard y'all had some interesting things going on in there. Can you kind of tell us about those ministry times, Miss Naomi?
Well, one particular time we gave away journals, and all the women was asked to choose a journal, not knowing what was written on it, but every word that was on the front of the journal ministered to their spirit. Because Susan, we had a chat time, Off the Hook. What does Off the Hook mean to you? And then we had a table talk time, Off the Hook Part 2, because one of my friends, Kim, had to ride a horse, and the name of the horse was Chaos. And she was like, I don't want to get on Chaos. But she began to remember that God said you got power over every beast of the field. So she said, I'm going to overpower Chaos and bring some calmness in his horse life. So she rode Chaos. She said that was Off the Hook for her, to be able to get on a horse, not familiar with it. So she said when there's a big rodeo in Tyler or something going on, she might be riding and roping next year this time. So it's just a lot of things that
I like it.
Yes.
We end up embracing new nature, dancing with Zumba, laughing, jacuzzi time. We had our chat time. They were doing marshmallows out, real fire.
Yeah, real fires.
Just a lot of things going on in Off the Hook, and we was just liberated to just know that, hey, we can be ourselves and enjoy it without being judged by our title.
I love it.
Amen.
Yes.
I love that.
Good deal. So Naomi, tell us about your experience. What were you know, I know that, we've been planning for a long time, but was it anything like what you thought it would be? And kind of tell us about your experience.
Well, I just wanted to welcome everyone in. So you said, be a piece of me, you represent me. So we had to have your vision a part of us. So I was aware and amazed of every woman I saw, looking at them from the eyes of God as a vessel. And so during our Zumba time when we prayed, I recognized I felt the heartbeat in other women's hands. It's been a while since I felt that. And so that let me know that they have something in them that I need, and I have something in me that they need.
Yeah.
Because if I can feel their heartbeat, they can feel mine.
Amen.
And then Miss Kim did a topic of discussion where we had to make an appointment, and I embraced Amber. Amber said she wanted to have a daughter named Naomi. So I was her answered prayer, and then Yolanda was my answered prayer. So it's like all of us was like a piece of a puzzle. Then when we was fitly joined together, we added essence to the other one's lives. It was just amazing.
Wonderful.
Some have experienced death in the cabin. We had that common ground that we can talk to and just talk about the cycle of healing with grieving and being able to talk about it. So a lot of things, a lot of conversation we was able to talk about, and the other sister had the answer to it.
Yes. I love it.
Yes.
It was just amazing how one person brought together a tribe of people, and we all had similar heartbeats.
Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It was amazing.
Yeah. And then to be able to relax and release. I noticed that throughout the time there were, you know, how sometimes when we first come into an encounter like that, we're kind of standoffish and we're observing, and I think it's wise to do it. But eventually, it's like I need to not go home with what I came with.
Gotta open up.
I gotta open up, and I've got to do that. Did you see that? Did you notice that, Miss Naomi? Is what you got it? Okay. Did you notice that, Naomi?
Yes, ma'am. Because we was having, I believe that eating when your mouth is open, you're eating. That's a good time to talk. So as we came in, Miss Phyllis came in with some chicken salad and tuna salad. So we came in eating. I came in embracing. They came in eating. So while we was eating and fellowshipping, God just broke the conversation out. I just asked them, "What are you looking for?" The cabin name is Off the Hook, and what would be a good thing for us to know about you that's off the hook?
Yeah, yeah.
And Miss Susan said she was going to live her life without limits. That's off the hook for her.
Yeah.
Living my life without limits. And, you know, most of the women said it was introverts, but you couldn't tell because as one opened up, it was like a domino effect. The other one opened up. Everyone's voice was heard.
Yes, yes.
Everyone spoke for themselves. So that was a very liberating time in which we were eating and we started talking and laughing.
Yes, yes. Amen. Well, thank you, Miss Naomi. We appreciate it. We got another caller that's calling in, and they're calling in to kind of share their experiences. So thank you so much for calling us today.
Bye, Naomi.
Bye.
Bye, love.
Bye-bye.
All right. Hello.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Is that
Hey,
Jess?
I just wanted to, I just want to say hey to everybody. Hey, Miss Naomi. I think you're online. But this is Jess, and I'm glad that you brought up about the cabin and just y'all's experience over there off the hook. And how, like, you know, that name, you know what I'm saying, resonated with everybody. And, like, it was so funny that that myself and Miss D Johnson, we were the cabin's leaders over the teams, which ours was the road less traveled.
Yes.
And it didn't like dawn on me until later, you know what I'm saying, just what that name like really meant, and honestly how much that name resonated with, one, my personality, and then even two, the girls. And the reason I say the girls is because some of those girls did, like, especially like our older girls, they didn't want to come. Yeah. And but by the end of Saturday night and even Sunday, they were like, "We're so glad that we came," you know. And so sometimes, which I'm glad that they came too, which that spoke to me that that me and Miss D did something right, you know, at the with the girls. And so I'm just grateful that the girls had a good experience. One of the things that we did see is that our kids hold on to so much. So much heavy stuff, y'all, and which I knew going in that this was going to be something that needed to have been that we needed to be there, you know, because of even the weight that was upon me or whatever. And so once I saw the girls and once we got to talking at our slumber party that Saturday night, I understood. Y'all, the girls, they were expressing themselves. They were crying. They had me in there crying. And if anybody knows me, it's like I don't do the crying thing in front of people. I'll go into my own secluded place to cry. But I felt like I don't know why God had me doing that or whatever the case was, but I really prayed that that the girls were able to, you know what I'm saying, release whatever it was that was on them and leave, you know what I'm saying, heavier. I'm sorry, not heavier, but lighter than what they came in. And I really hope to see some of those girls, you know, back at, well, not even some, but all of them back at the retreat next year. So we had a really good time and just, you know what I'm saying, just getting out of our normal day-to-day life and going into a place where, you know, into a place of seclusion, really, and just becoming one with nature. We took the girls on a hiking trip, and they didn't like that either. But by the end of it, it's like everything started coming together and just started, making sense. And I could tell that they started embracing it. Yeah. And only because they started telling me that they were, embracing everything. And so I'm just grateful, to have been there. And I'm grateful for all the girls that were there. And I'm even thinking about seeing them again, like sooner than the retreat. So just to see how everybody is doing and trekking along and stuff. So thank y'all for inviting us out to the retreat.
You were
a
great leader.
For being there for our babies.
Great leader. Leader.
A couple of the other groups that had come together, because we broke up in a couple of groups. You had your cabin group, and then you had your tribal group.
Right.
And some of the cabins have actually said that they've been talking about getting together for Christmas.
Yeah.
For the holiday. So
really?
Yeah, so that they could stay connected to each other, until the next retreat. And let me tell you what was really amazing to me. I heard it one time, but on Sunday evening I heard it over and over. We want to be with the same group that we were with this time.
So it's a bonding.
It was a bonding that was taking place. Yeah. Everybody wanted to stay with their group.
Jess, that was that's a good word that you were saying about the names of the cabins, because I never really thought about it, because we were bare naked.
Okay.
Yeah. We were, and we were right next to Jess.
Yes, right across from her.
Right across. Yep. So we were the two in the far back.
Yeah, they were secluded back there.
The road less traveled.
Yes.
The road less traveled. Yes.
I didn't think we'd never get back from the city. We were like, what road we gonna turn on?
Yeah, they were a little hard to find back there.
We were, but everybody kept checking on us.
Yeah.
A lot of people came by.
Hey, Jess, before you go, just a quick question. What was one of the things that you noticed that the girls kind of struggled with? Not to go into detail about, what each one of them went through, but what was one of the main things that each girl kind of struggled with, growing up and being a teenager?
Yeah. That's good.
Of course, one of the things was releasing, like finding their voice to speak up, like about the things that they were holding on to. That was kind of like a common theme. Yeah. Like on one side, that was a common theme on one side, and then another thing I saw was it with some of our quieter girls. It was they kind of struggled with finding their voice too. But by that Saturday night, we did a slumber party, and it's like all of their voices. I was glad, that all of their voices spoke up, because I thought only a few would. But every single one of the girls did, except for the little one. She fell asleep, but that was, that was expected. But the other big girls, it's like all of their voices came as one. So I think that's one of the things that they struggle with is finding their voice in their actual home, and being able to speak up and to release what it is that on them in a way that it would be received, and in a way where change can actually come.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is good, because I can imagine, especially when they're being told what to do all the time, and you're not sure if you have a voice, because and seems like, Jess, I don't know, this may be with you too, one of the hardest things sometimes growing up is moving away from your mom and dad's voice. Because you're so accustomed to trying to please them, or you've been having them in your ear for so long, and you're kind of conditioned to that. But then you're hearing something different within yourself, and then being bold enough to step out and say that I want to be uniquely you. I want to be who I am.
And I think a lot of parents, they shut their children down, thinking that they're protecting them, but they're really actually hurting them.
Exactly,
because they don't know how to open up.
And
we do have to pay attention to our teenagers, our little ones. I mean, I think it's awesome that they were able to release some of that and let some of that go. And I mean, we have to pay attention, because they have a voice. They really do.
They have to pay attention.
Yeah, and not smother
And
them.
sometimes you don't know what they gonna say, because sometimes when Jordan, when she gets on the
That's true,
radio, y'all, I be wanting to shrink in that daggone seat sometimes. Like when I'm over there and I hear her talking, I be like, Lord, they finna call CPS on me or whatever the case is. But I feel like, you know what I'm saying, that's one of the things I'm teaching myself is to, you know what I'm saying, when she talks, just let her talk. Let her get it out how she sees it, because how she sees it in her mind, it is true. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's right.
Until, you know what I'm saying, we all come into that one collective voice and, you know, kind of lay stuff out on the table so we can see what we are looking at, you know, and try to organize some things. But at the same time, it's like I do encourage Jordan, which Jordan is my daughter. I do encourage her to, you know what I'm saying, follow her own voice. Even if it's not, you know what I'm saying, something that I say or something that her friends or whatever is doing, it's like to follow her own voice, because that's the voice that's going to lead her to, now I'm not saying like her voice all the time, but that voice on the inside, because that's the voice that's going to lead her into whatever, you know, her purpose and destiny is in life. And I'm not always going to know what that is. And so, but that voice on the inside will lead her to that place. So it ain't always comfortable, but you know what I'm saying, I guess it's one of those things that's necessary at the same time.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Jess, for answering my question.
Yeah, that's great.
All right. You're welcome. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you, Jess.
Thanks, you too. Have a good evening.
Bye.
I just want to emphasize to everyone, dial in. The number is 214-431-5062.
Yes.
Call in. Cabin free, call in.
Yep. Lakeside, call in. Sweet Retreat,
call in.
When Nature Calls,
call in. We want you to call in.
We want you to call in. Tell us about your experience that you were having. Yeah, because some of them, we were just kind of like outside watching. Yeah, and even those that were going through doing the Zumba, that was a good experience for many.
It really was. It was a lot of fun. I could see it was a lot of fun. Okay, we waiting on y'all. Come on now.
We wait on y'all to call in.
We talked y'all up now. Come on, show up. Come on in. Like Miss Marilyn says, come on in the morning.
Y'all
in the morning. Come on now.
That's right. Yeah. But, even while we're waiting on them, Faith, I think all of our different experiences, it's something about going to bed and letting God reflect back on, where we are. Because as for me, when I got home, and it was, I was still trying to put everything up, trying to do all this, trying to make sure everything was settled, sending thank yous, all of that. It's just so much all week long. Right. But also, I saw areas that were missed opportunities. I saw a lot. I saw great moments. I saw missed opportunities. I was like, oh, my God. That thing I was praying for, there it was right there. And somewhere I missed. But one thing that I can say that I really enjoyed, I had an opportunity to share rooms with one of the young girls. Oh, yeah. I actually another lady was in the cabin with me, originally assigned, but we were having to do some reassignments to kind of get another cabin filled up. And so this young lady, Mrs. Schuyler, ended up being my cabbie. And so when we got in there, when I tell you that was the best experience, personality-wise, the moment that she needed, like a mentor to really be in her life and, to really speak. And sometimes those are the things that really matter the most. We were able to, when we got ready to go to, bed that night, we could stay up and talk. We could stay, because whereas, she may not have talked in front of everybody else, she had that quiet moment right there. And to me, that was absolutely priceless. So the other night I went to bed and I was just trying to reflect back on everything. and the Lord brought her back to me.
Oh, wonderful.
He brought her back to my spirit, and I said she has to be praying.
Yes.
She has to be asking God for, because the things that God was sharing with me, they were like real, they were like deep. Take her up under your wings.
Yeah.
It was that kind of thing. And that doesn't happen to me all the time.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, she definitely was the right one to be in that room. I've had that experience with a lot of young ladies over my lifetime, and I thank God for it. But every time you want to grow more and more, you don't want to be so busy. You know what I mean? You don't want to be so busy with things. All right, we got another caller.
We got a Tyler Wright calling.
All right. All right, who do we have?
This is D'Amica Pennell. I was in Lakeside Manor.
Yes, Mrs. Tamika.
Hi.
Hey there.
I'm enjoying y'all's conversation you got going on over there with all of the memories.
Yes.
I would say that for me, being a part of this experience, it was beautiful because the group of ladies that I came to bond with, we bonded over the issue of food. We were hungry. And so we were sitting there, we were being patient, we was waiting to figure out when the food was going to get started on the day we got there, and nothing was happening. So it was like, okay, let's just go for a walk. So I asked some of the ladies, I was like, hey, y'all want to just get out the house, let's go walk? So they was like, well, yeah. We started walking down, we met the neighbors next door, and so then we seen the van pull back up. And so they was like, well, y'all, why don't we just get together, put our money together, and we just go to the grocery store and pick up something quick. Yeah. So I was like, cool. So how many people can fit in the van? So we went, we grabbed some folks, and we had like 15 people that got in the van. And so we were going to go grab something quick. We was going to either make the rotel dip or some tacos. and that's literally how we got from everybody being like sectioned off to coming together to kind of, getting to know each other. But it was a fun moment because we were so hungry. We were talking about we were going to grab a squirrel and just bring it to put it on the fire.
Grab a squirrel. She said grab a squirrel. Hey, we had some country girls with us now.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. A squirrel. And so we did. We hopped in the car. We went down to the grocery store. We pulled our money together. And, we got some stuff. But by the time we got back, the caterer was there. Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. So then, but at that time, so now this group of ladies, we become the ones that we were sitting outside and we were talking. And before Miss Marilyn even did the fireside talk, we were having our own discussion. Yep. Okay, well, why are you here? Yep. Okay, well, what brought you here? And it kind of gave us an opportunity to learn each other.
Yes.
And I'm grateful for that, because, we were talking Miss Georgia, that's what I call her, Miss Dale, but I call her Miss Georgia.
Yep.
They'll see that.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the ladies just came in. It's like you've known them forever, but this was your first time meeting. Yeah. So I think the environment just brought out the best in people as far as the good intentions of what it is that you desire from connections and your Christian walk. And like you said, your servitude. So I was grateful that DeAndrea, she invited me to come and be a part of this. Amen. But I left there with more than just DeAndrea as a friend. We got our own little group text that we talk now. Yay. And it was wonderful. So I'm just saying that this was beautiful. I'm bringing my son next year.
Amen. Amen.
And he's excited about being a part of that because, he saw all the pictures and he's a nature kid and wanting to go fishing and all that kind of stuff.
So that's going to be fun. Yeah, it is. That's going to be great.
I love it, D'Amica. I think that was one of my precious moments too when I walked out and they were out there on the patio. They stayed out there all night long. I don't even know if they went to bed that night because I know it was about 4 o'clock when I left them out there.
It was about late. 4 in the morning that night. Morning.
That's you talking about that real refreshing because all the cabins have fireplaces outside.
All of them.
And TVs.
And
they got a TV and a
fireplace. Hot tub
in every cabin. Yeah, every one of them.
Wow. They were absolutely.
And we utilized all of it.
And we utilized all of it.
Yes, every nook and cranny.
But that's when you realize that the relationship is real. Yeah. When you can you can meet somebody that you've never met before,
yeah,
and you make that connection, and you kind of pour your heart out, and they feel you, like they get it, they understand. That's awesome.
Wonderful.
Well, thank you, ladies.
Well,
thank you, D'Amica. We appreciate you.
Calling in.
All right, you have a good night.
You too. Thank you. You know, I was just thinking when you were talking about Skylar and you know, being a mentor.
Yeah,
we have different seasons where we can have different mentors in our lives. You know, we might, you know, as mothers, we need to, you know, not be jealous, you know, when other women come into our
kids' lives,
because we can't do everything. It really does take a village, I feel, to raise a child in some cases. So, you know, as mothers, we need to kind of pull back and release, and God will give you, mother, someone to pour into.
Sure will.
You won't feel, you know, left out. Your child turn their back or rejected or whatever. But you will have a chance. I'm telling you.
Sure will.
If you
Make
live
that
long enough, you will have a chance to pour into someone else's life. We all need mentors and coaches.
Yeah,
you know,
I love that.
for different areas of our lives.
And they come. What they say when the student is ready, the teacher will show up.
And
sure up. But you got to be ready in your heart for opportunities like this, like when your mothers or aunts or whatever ask you, hey, you know, to be part of this here. All right, we got another caller, y'all. All right, who do we have on the call?
This is Skylar.
Hey, Skylar. We were just talking about you.
Where's your mama? I've been texting her, tell her to call in here for cabin free. I'm like, come on.
You know what,
Miss Dangerfield?
That's going to be a prayer for her to call in. You just, you know what, just put that in prayer for her to call in.
Okay.
Well, tell us about your experience, Skylar.
My experience was life-changing. Believe it or not, like a month before the retreat, I was really close to changing my mind. Because I knew what I had been praying for, and you know, sometimes we can pray for things, and what we ask God for, it's not that we're not ready for it, it's just that we don't even believe in ourselves enough for that change. And so I knew that this was going to change my life, and I didn't know if I was ready for it. And what I struggled with, that's what I was faced with at that retreat. And so it's like the work is just now. It was life changing for me to get the work started.
Yeah.
And so I was able to. I left a lot of things at that lake, and when I left, I felt whole again.
Amen.
And
amen.
I was able to connect with different women and women that look like me. That go through the same things that I went through. And you know, my issue, just being honest, I feel like this is a platform where we can be honest. My issue was with black women. I feel like black women, we are so mean to each other. And we don't love on each other enough. And when I left, I was able to love my black sister again.
Oh, amen, Skylar.
Amen.
Oh, God has something very special for you to birth out, Skylar.
Yes, it does.
You are definitely gifted, blessed, and anointed.
Yeah.
And God has something just for you. Just for you. Your heart is just right where it needs to be.
Yeah, it's right.
Yeah, it's right.
Well, they say sometimes God has to break into our heart to get to our heart, you know, to get to us. But we definitely thank you for calling in, Skylar, and I look forward to spending many days with you in the days to come.
Just know that don't ever take yourself to that place again.
Yeah.
He released you from that place. Don't ever go back.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Make sure you push forward and you move forward, because there are people waiting on what you have to give.
Amen.
Yeah.
So stay strong in that, my sister, because you have a beautiful heart. I can hear it through the phone. Just don't ever go back to that situation again.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, love you, Skylar.
Thank you, Skylar.
Thank you. Love you. Bye-bye.
Yes, Miss O, you can call in now. It's not too late.
Too late.
It's never too late.
Yeah.
Darling, our number is 214. Oh, there she is. There she go, Mama O. There she is. Is this Mama O?
It's called.
This is Mama O.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, she's from Cabin Free. And
Cabin Free.
That's my cabin.
Yeah.
I said, somebody please call in. Cabin Free.
Amen.
So Cabin Free freed me for a weekend, and it was simply awesome. I was in a cabin I didn't know anybody on a personal basis. I met a whole new family. I gained some daughters in the process.
Amen.
And it was just simply awesome.
It was.
I listened to people pour out their heart. I poured out my heart.
Yeah.
Oh, my. I can't wait until the next one. I'm ready.
Amen.
Ready to go.
Hey, Rev Mason, I was going to call you today. Message you today. This would be an awesome opportunity to bring the Texas College young adults to the retreat.
Yes.
This would be an amazing opportunity to bring them in to minister to them.
Okay, that's a thought.
That's a thought.
All right.
I just want to get the wheels turning over there with you.
Yes, that's a great thought.
Hey,
I have invited so many others, though, who said they are coming.
Amen.
Wonderful.
Amen.
Hey, and Mama O didn't know her roommate either.
She didn't know who her roommate was?
No.
Yep.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
No.
Yep. Miss Shirley?
No, and I'm going to visit my roommate, too. Told her to get ready. I'm coming to Paris, Texas. I have a new sister.
Wow.
It's just amazing. No one arguing. Everybody just talking about Jesus, praising God.
Amen.
It was the most relaxing weekend I've had in a long time.
Amen.
It was just simply awesome.
Yes.
And I'm so glad you were in Cabin Free because you were a blessing to me personally. And I love you, Mama
Thank you.
O.
Is that Faith?
Yes, it's me.
Thank you, little sister.
We appreciate all the value you brought to the cabin, too. And just being who you are. I know you came to be fed, but we were talking earlier about servanthood, and we never know when we have to exchange hats. And we're always in a position, in a posture to where, Lord, if I need to be used at any time, even though I'm coming here to be fed, I'm coming to give back also at the same time.
And let me just put this out there. I didn't tell Mama O this, but I was so humble because she was very gracious. You know, when you're in ministry at the level that she is right now, she could have done that whole leader, teaching, everything herself. Yeah. But she was so gracious, and I really appreciate you. You were, cheering me on, Mama O, and I appreciate that.
It was an awesome experience. There are times in our lives where we have to step back and allow others to pour into our lives, and this was my season to just sit and enjoy and learn and meet and praise the Lord.
Amen. We appreciate you so much.
Amen. Well, we're glad you were there with us, and we look forward to you being back next year, actively involved next year.
Actively involved. That sounds like Marilyn.
Yeah, that's Marilyn. That's Pettigrew over there.
Yep, actively.
Marilyn Pettigrew.
Yes,
you know I will. I'll do whatever I can, and I'm just excited to know it's extended. We have more days than we had because I would love to be able to do more. I'm going to get on the horse next year. I may go down the zip line. Wow. I'm ready.
I am too. Hey, I don't know if I'm going to get on that horse, but I'm doing that zip line next year. I am. I'm looking forward to it. Well, thank you, Mason.
Thank you all for allowing me to speak. And to all who are listening, you need to register for this retreat. It is a lifetime experience. It is something I have not ever experienced before. and I'm looking forward to experiencing it again.
Amen. Thank you,
Mama.
While we have her on, for those of you that are wanting to know what are they talking about, y'all can go out there and visit. You can either visit my page at www.mdwinnercircle.com, or you can actually email us at mdretreatinfo@gmail.com. Again, that's mdretreatinfo@gmail.com, and we'll be glad to get information out to you. For those of you wanting to know, well, what is the cost of this? That's probably a whole lot of money they spending. It's $320 for the actual retreat, but all you need to do is put a $50 deposit down. That $50 does go towards your $320, but y'all, we got a deadline. We got to get those cabins. I actually have 19 cabins set aside for 300 women for 2020 vision, but I need you guys to get out there and get your room locked in with a $50 deposit so that we can get those rooms settled and we'll be ready to move forward. Y'all, for those of you want to know, do we have to pay everything all at one time after that? No, you have until May the 31st to pay it off completely. So guys, you can use your income tax and do that.
Come on.
Get it out of the way. There will be absolutely no extensions.
That's right.
I'm going to say that
no
one
extension.
time only. No extension on the deposit, no extension on the day, because we got to get everything taken
on the
care
travel
of. On
and
the
everything,
travel,
and
everything.
everything. And Miss Marilyn, can you tell us the dates of 2020,
yes,
please?
Yes, the dates for the retreat is October the 21st through the 25th of 2020, and we will once again be at Broken Bow, Oklahoma, y'all.
On the range,
y'all. We're looking forward to it. It looks like we're going to be kind of in pods a little bit. We got almost everything at Lakeside. We booked up all of that. And then we've got 2 other pods that we got to be in because there's so many of us trying to be there. But you're going to have enough. It's going to be about 4 or 5 cabins over there where you are.
Okay.
So it's not like you're by yourself.
Isolated.
Yeah, it's not like you're nobody's isolated or anything.
Yeah, but okay, so you have 19 cabins just for women.
Just for women.
But what about the men?
You know what?
What about the children?
It's actually 19 cabins all together. That's including our kids, also our teenagers as well.
Yeah, the men and the children.
We have to have a cabin to where our men can help take care of us. So we're excited about that as well. So
I just want to make sure.
Yes, ma'am. All right, we got another caller calling in.
Thank you, Ma.
Thank you. All righty. Do we have a caller?
Yes, Latrice Dangerfield.
Oh, get Skylar. Skylar said you wasn't going to call in, Latrice.
Come on, cabin free. Are you free indeed?
Yes, I had to call in. I'm listening to Skylar, and I'm listening to Miss Faye. I said, oh, no, I have to call.
Amen.
Miss Faye and Marilyn, I just have to, I can't go by with my name being called out, knowing that the experience that I did, what I experienced there.
Yeah.
This week have been awesome. Last week was beautiful. Just to be there, just to be in the company around so many women.
Yeah.
Just to hear their voice, their testimony. Miss Faye, you remember when it was my time to speak? We were sitting at the table and they got around to me.
Yes, ma'am.
And I had to tell her, I said, well, I'm not ready. And they looked, I said, I'm not ready. I done cried and cried for everybody. Now I can't even speak, so you're going to have to come back around to me. But first of all, I want to I'm thanking Marilyn. I'd like to thank you for being able to put this together, you and Miss Faye, because when I first seen it out there, it was put out there on Facebook, and Marilyn had put it out there, and then I saw my sister-in-law, Tanya, her name was there. I told Skylar, we have to go. We have to get our money together. We have to go. And most of all, I wanted to make sure that Skylar was there.
Amen.
And it was just, it's something that we'll never forget. We still walking around crying, and what we experienced there, it was beautiful. Looking forward to next year. Miss Faye, you was beautiful. I love it. I love all that you did, that you presented to us there. I love my vision board. It's still sitting on the table. And I was just telling Skylar, leave it there. I have so much more to add to it.
Yes, and bring it back next year.
Really, I mean, a vision board that you do, and I'm like, what do you do with a vision board? And all this that I put on there, and when it came that next day, everybody was reading that vision board off, and Miss Dangerfield, and I said, I don't even know where it is, which I did. So I went and got it, and I read it off. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. I have something to add to it. That just opened up my life more. And believe it or not, I walked into the grocery store here in Paris, and Brookshire's and Kroger's, and I had different women's like, how in the world did you get there? How do I get to go? I have to be there next year.
Yeah.
So,
Paris in the house.
I have to be there next year. I was just looking there, and I seen nobody from Paris. That's the way it was, several women from Paris.
Yep.
And so they wanted to know about it. I mean, it's the the laughter, the cry. I can really just stand up now and just say hallelujah, because I am so grateful and so thankful just to be there.
Amen.
To have been there, I am.
Amen.
And I'm thankful for Skylar to be able to open up.
Yes.
And to know that it's a beautiful world. It's not all about hatred. You got to trust in God, because He will take you far in life as far as you want to go. God's going to always be there for you.
Yes, He
and
will.
I thank you, positive women.
Yes.
That we're around, women every day with negative feelings. Some were positive, but to be able to be in that cabinet that I was in, and Miss Faye would just listen to us. It was just open, whatever we wanted to say, and it was going to stay there. And you didn't have to hear it again.
Amen.
Yes, that is the same cabinet I'm going to be in next year.
Amen. Miss Dangerfield, what?
Miss Mason said hello to
her
roommate.
She said hi, roommate. But let me tell you something, Miss I call her Miss Dangerfield. I call her Trees. Miss Dangerfield, it would not have been the same if you weren't there.
That's right.
You were a big part to whatever God did. You had to be there because your part was so vital and so important. And the only thing I ask you to do next year is bring some hazelnut cream for our coffee.
I will.
Have your request known.
That's for you. Hazelnut cream coffee.
Hey, that's for you and Mama O. I don't use hazelnut.
Because I heard Marilyn had a cake. And she had a German chocolate cake. So we're going to have a 5-flavor pound cake and a German chocolate cake.
Everybody got to get their own special cake, Latrice.
Yes, but I love you guys.
I love you too.
I'm telling you, I'm glad when I spoke to her and she said, that first time she called, she said, well, you're going to be in the cabinet with me. We're just going to lay back and relax. And she was the kind of person where she really didn't want to move around to this place. And I said, I don't know why, but Marilyn put me in the right cabinet. That's where I want to be.
That's right.
And, so I didn't want to move around. Skylar was like, Mom, we're going to have to go and do the train ride. I'm not going because my name is going to come up next. I said, I can't go. My name is coming.
Miss Dangerfield.
My name has got to come up next. And see, I got to get out what, I come here for. I need to speak. I'm not a speaker. So it's probably
you doing good now.
A little more by being on this phone. But I did a little better after listening to Miss Faye say, you can do it. Thank you.
You can do all things.
Amen.
Yeah, I'm going to call you, girl. We got to talk.
Call me, and I'm looking forward to seeing you around the holidays. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, love you.
Love y'all. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Amen. Well, guys, we are coming to the close of our show tonight. Look like they're wrapping up around here, but we definitely want to, again, plug in. We will be going back again next year for our next retreat, 2020 Vision. For those of you that would like to join us, as you can hear, we definitely had an amazing time, and we're looking forward to much more for the next go around. We got one more call. Yeah. All right, who do we have on the line?
Hey, y'all, it's Tangela.
Hey, Tangela. How are you doing, dear?
I'm doing well. I'm calling represent Sweet Retreat.
Yay, Sweet Retreat. Yes, ma'am.
Come on with it,
girl. Well, I mean, really, words can't really describe the experience. That was actually my first retreat. Just being amongst a lot of just ladies from just all around. It was just an experience for me. It was something that was much needed. We all as women, we wear a lot of hats, but this particular couple of days, I got to focus on me. Yeah. I got to focus on what I needed. I got to just kind of get away from the noise and just kind of sit down and breathe. And really just, I got some rest. I got to meet some new people. And in our cabin, y'all, everybody was so chilled. It was like we were all just meant to be. Perfect. We all synced in from the very moment we came in. We laughed together. We cried together. We shared different things. And, we exchanged information. It was just, it was like by divine appointment. Everything was just wonderful. And everybody was peaceful, got along. I just really can't explain it. Usually when a lot of people get together, you think that it's going to be, you don't really never know who you're going to be in a cabin with, or you're like, Right. But everybody fits in so well. And y'all, I slept through the night. That ain't something I get to do all the time, but y'all, it was peaceful, restful. It was, I could go on and on and on, but it was definitely an experience and a much needed one for me.
Amen. And Tangela, thank you for everything you did. God. She was all over Broken Bow, baby. She sure was. She went to the store runs and got coffee and cream for me, and she was there and she stayed with us. And also, lovely, your dear sister, you all really worked. And guess what? You served, and God still met your need at the same time. So, Lord.
All right, we got one more calling in. Thank you, Tangela.
Thank you, honey.
All right, who do we have calling in?
With us, and also.
I'm sorry. Hello.
Hi, who do we have calling in?
This is Yolanda.
Hey, Londa.
Hey, Yolanda.
Hey, I just have something real quick to say.
We're listening. Better not be nothing about that cake.
It is.
It got out. It got out. The word got out.
Y'all ready?
Mm-hmm. We ready.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
I want y'all to know that my sister had that German chocolate cake and she hid it. She didn't share it with nobody. She didn't share it with nobody. Somebody asked for a piece of cake, and she was like, no, do not cut that cake. Do not cut that cake.
I didn't have enough for everybody, and it would have been wrong to give one person a piece and then give everybody a piece.
That's logic.
I know. But I just wanted y'all to know, first of all, I'm calling to represent Off the Hook because I see nobody, I don't know if anybody called in earlier or not, but we, just like all the other ladies said, that we all had a peaceful time. I think everybody had a consensus of everybody was where they were supposed to be.
Yeah. Amen. Yeah. Amen, Yana.
And that everybody was in the right place at the right time. Mm-hmm. And some people got sleep, some people didn't get any sleep.
Yeah.
But I think today was my first day finally sitting down because I came back to my job and we had to do some other things. But this is probably my first day just getting a little bit of rest. But it was even though I didn't get to sleep, it was a peaceful time. It was a good time, and again, we had 7 people riding in our truck, but everybody talked all the way back about the retreat, and it was all positive. Everybody talked about the good time,
yes, it was awesome.
Everything was positive.
Amen.
So we're all looking forward to next year, and everybody said they want to be with the exact same people that they were with this time.
Yep. Good deal.
So
thank you, Yolanda.
I just want you to know. Yes. I just want you to know, everybody. I think everybody was well pleased. So we're looking forward to next year. And I got some people from Brunswick who are excited. Brunswick, Georgia.
Come on in the house, Brunswick.
Yes. All right now. Come on in.
So I'm trying to get them to get signed up. Okay. So we'll see what the Lord's gonna do next year.
All right, amen. Thank you for calling, Yolanda. We appreciate it.
We love you.
We appreciate all of y'all for calling tonight and being a part of our show. They're turning the lights out on us. We probably need to check out of here. But thank you so much. Faith, you have any final words?
We love you guys. Put your $50 deposit on.
Amen.
Don't let your room cabin free. You better get it in there because there's some other folks want to be free too. So
that's right.
Come on, bring it in.
That's right. Jennifer, you have any final words?
No, I just thank you, ladies, for having me on as a guest. I have truly enjoyed it, and it's been a blessing.
I believe you're gonna be back.
Yeah, she'll be back. She will be back.
I'm looking forward to it.
You're part of the family now.
Amen. Y'all, if you could catch Mrs. Jennifer's broadcast, we actually did an interview about the upcoming workshop that's taking place, 2020 Vision. That's going to be in Tyler, Texas on November the 16th. I will be the host for that one. She actually interviewed me right before this particular show, so she's going to be airing that in a little while, so you guys can actually see.
Where can we find it?
Where do we find you?
At Let's Talk About It Jen on Facebook.
Amen.
I also have Instagram, YouTube channel, Let's Talk About It Jen. Or you can find me, Jennifer Robertson, on Facebook. But yes, I have several interviews, and then I've got Miss Pettigrew that I've interviewed today.
So, amen.
Yes, ma'am.
We thank y'all. Thank y'all for joining in with us. We look forward to coming back to you on our next time when we get back together. Y'all, I think the next one is going to be the family. It's going to be Mr. Faith, Miss Joe, and Mr. Alvino and I. We're going to do a small reunion as we get ready to close out the year and share with you guys the upcoming things that's going to be taking place. Y'all be sure to join in, connect in with us everywhere you can. Go out there and visit us, www.mdwinnercircle.com. And those of you that want to get connected, hey, let us know. Just send us an email, mdretreatinfo@gmail.com. Again, mdretreatinfo.com. If you just want to know information or want to get signed up.
And also, if you want to hook with us with the radio show, go to IAFA radio show, and you'll find out all what we're going to do for our next show.
Amen.
The date, time, place, everything.
Yes. So all right. You guys be blessed, and we'll meet you guys on the next go-round. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.